Democracy and fascism represent two fundamentally different forms of government, each with distinct principles, structures, and impacts on society. Understanding these differences is crucial for recognizing the value of democratic systems and the dangers posed by fascist regimes. At its core, democracy is founded on the principles of freedom, equality, and participation. It is a system where power is vested in the people, who exercise that power directly or through elected representatives. Democratic governments are characterized by free and fair elections, the rule of law, the protection of individual rights, and a system of checks and balances designed to prevent the abuse of power. In contrast, fascism is an authoritarian ideology that emphasizes strong, centralized control, often led by a single ruler or a ruling party. Fascist regimes prioritize the supremacy of the state or nation above individual freedoms and typically enforce strict conformity through propaganda, censorship, and coercion. Fascism rejects the democratic principles of pluralism and open debate, instead promoting a homogeneous society united under a single dominant ideology. In a democracy, the structure of government is designed to ensure accountability and prevent the concentration of power. This is achieved through the separation of powers among the executive, legislative, and judicial branches. Regular elections allow citizens to choose their leaders and hold them accountable for their actions. The rule of law is paramount, meaning that laws apply equally to all individuals, including those in power. Fascist governments, on the other hand, are characterized by the concentration of power in the hands of a dictator or a single ruling party. This centralization of authority often involves the dismantling of democratic institutions, such as independent judiciaries and free press. Fascist regimes maintain control through surveillance, intimidation, and violence, ensuring that dissent is swiftly and brutally suppressed. Impact on society. The impact of democracy on society is largely positive, promoting human rights, social justice, and economic development. Democracies tend to foster environments where freedom of speech, assembly, and the press are protected, allowing for diverse viewpoints and robust public discourse. This openness not only encourages innovation and progress but also helps to address social injustices and inequalities. In stark contrast, fascist regimes create societies marked by fear, repression, and uniformity. The suppression of dissent and the persecution of minorities are common under fascist rule. Propaganda and censorship are used to manipulate public perception and maintain the regime's control. The lack of checks and balances often leads to widespread corruption and abuse of power, stifling economic and social progress. Examples in history. Historical examples illustrate the stark differences between democracy and fascism. Democracies such as the United States, the United Kingdom, and India have demonstrated the resilience and adaptability of democratic systems even in the face of significant challenges. These nations have shown that democracy, while sometimes messy and slow, allows for peaceful transitions of power and the protection of individual liberties. In contrast, fascist regimes such as Nazi Germany under Adolf Hitler and Italy under Benito Mussolini have left dark legacies of war, genocide, and oppression. These regimes showed how fascism can lead to the degradation of human rights, the erosion of moral and ethical standards, and the destruction of entire societies. Democracy and fascism are fundamentally different in their principles, structures, and impacts on society. Democracy, with its emphasis on freedom, equality, and accountability, fosters environments where individuals can thrive and societies can progress. Fascism, with its focus on centralized control and enforced conformity, leads to repression, fear, and stagnation. Recognizing these differences is essential for appreciating the value of democratic governance and the dangers inherent in fascist ideologies.